If I may, I'll tell you the problem with the scientific power that you're using here. It didn't require any discipline to attain it. You know, you read what others had done, and you took the next step. You didn't earn the knowledge for yourselves, so you don't take any responsibility for it. You stood on the shoulders of geniuses to accomplish something as fast as you could, and before you even knew what you had, you patented it and packaged it and slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling it. You want to sell it. Well,
I don't think you're giving us our due credit. Our scientists have done things which nobody's ever done before.
yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom was directed by a guy's name I'm not going to try to pronounce, and it is the 5th film in the Jurassic Park franchise, the latest installment. It is the 2nd installment in this reboot trilogy sequel thing, the sequel trilogy to the original Jurassic Park trilogy thing, I guess. And this movie stars Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, and this movie is basically about how it's 3 years after the first Jurassic World, the park is all destroyed, everything's gone, they haven't rebuilt it, it's all just dead, they didn't try to go back, and all the dinosaurs are still there, they're still thriving, but the island has a volcano on it that's going to destroy the whole island if they don't get there in time and move the dinosaurs away from it. So the people have this plan to sort of move them to a little safe haven and try to protect the dinosaurs. There's a little bit of a debate going on about whether or not they should save the dinosaurs or if they should let them die, and people like Ian Malcolm want the dinosaurs to die and want them to die off, but people like Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard want to save them and move them to this safe haven. They go to the island and try to save these dinosaurs, and bad stuff starts to happen and things start to go wrong. Isn't that just fun? So guys, Jurassic Park is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's not just a really fun dinosaur movie with really like revolutionary special effects, and it's not just a fun movie that you watch and go like, this is really entertaining. It's so much more than that. Jurassic Park, the book and the movie, are very smart portrayals of what dinosaurs would be like if they were in real life. If people had the technology to create dinosaurs, this is the realistic portrayal of what would happen. It is a very scientific movie, it's smart, there is a whole message about how human and nature should not meddle together. Humans shouldn't be meddling nature, they shouldn't be doing stuff like that just because they have the ability to. Humans shouldn't play God. Nature selected dinosaurs for extinction for a reason, and they shouldn't be meddling with dinosaurs because everything is gonna go wrong and things aren't going to work out. It's so revolutionary on a technical perspective, but what makes Jurassic Park so great is the story and the character arcs and the themes that the movie is presenting. And then they decided, hey, we gotta make sequels to Jurassic Park because it was so successful and so huge, so we gotta make the Lost World Jurassic Park based off Michael Crichton's second book. And that movie was alright, it was okay. I don't hate it like some people do. I actually think it's a decently okay movie. The characters weren't very great, but there are some really good sequences in that movie. It's definitely better than Jurassic Park 3, which is just this side thing that was just really bad, and things didn't make sense, and the characters were awful. Everything about that movie was just eh. And then Jurassic World came along. People are pretty split on that. Some people really like it, some people think it's okay, some people don't like it, and I'm one of the people that doesn't like it. I liked it when I first saw it. Originally I gave it a B, but I was an idiot back then, so who cares? Let me rephrase that. I wasn't as educated, and I didn't know about films as much as I do now. And now, Jurassic World isn't very good to me. It's a very stupid movie with a terrible premise that it just doesn't make sense in and of itself, and I'm not a fan of it. The characters weren't all that good either. There's a lot of really bad characters in that movie. So Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, I wasn't really looking forward to at all. I was just like, this is gonna be another Jurassic Park movie, even though they should have just stuck with the first movie and not made any more sequels to it. And this movie was actually even worse than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just gonna be another mediocre movie like Jurassic World, where it's just like this mediocre, stupid, fun thing that people are gonna like if they like watching dinosaurs kill people. but it's actually kind of a mess. This movie is a disaster. This movie is crazy. It baffled me so much with how bad it was. Like, I'm not even kidding. This movie baffled me. Of course there's good things about Jurassic World. There's some really good technical aspects. Like, dinosaurs all look really great. They used animatronics more this time and they all look fantastic. There's some really well-directed scenes and there are some good things that happen. There's a few good lines from Chris Pratt. And there is some, you know, there's cool dinosaurs and there's cool things that happen, even though they're all really ridiculous and stupid. Even though the first movie was supposed to be grounded in reality, and this movie, like, it has really goofy sequences, like every Jurassic Park sequel has. It just kind of annoys me that Jurassic Park has just become this dumb monster movie franchise instead of being like the first movie. All the filmmakers thought is that people just like the dinosaurs, you know? They were just like, oh, dinosaurs are cool. The whole premise of this movie is even worse than the first movie. The first movie, I was just like, nobody would get tired of a Jurassic Park like thing. If there was dinosaurs in the world again, people would not get tired of that. And that's what Jurassic World revolves around. It revolves around the fact that people are getting bored of dinosaurs. That would never happen. That was stupid from the get-go. But Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, the premise is that they're trying to save dinosaurs, and you want to root for these people that are saving dinosaurs. Did you even watch the first film? It's all about how dinosaurs shouldn't be around. It's all about how dinosaurs should not have been created. It's literally all about how you shouldn't be meddling with nature, and I don't even think Colin Trevorrow, who wrote this movie, really even understood that. He just thought the dinosaurs were cool, so he was like, let's make a bigger movie with a bunch of dinosaurs. Who cares about the characters? Who cares about the themes of the original Jurassic Park? We just gotta make a movie where dinosaurs do cool things, and we'll get tons of money, and unfortunately, that's probably gonna happen. The only interesting thing that possibly could have come out from this movie is the debate between whether or not dinosaurs should be saved. That was actually an interesting part. I was like, that could be an interesting theme in this movie. They're actually doing something interesting with a Jurassic Park movie again? What the heck is this? But it only lasts for 2 seconds. The scene you saw with Ian Malcolm in the trailer, yeah, that's like 1 minute. He's just like, oh, I don't think we should save the dinosaurs. Life finds a way. We shouldn't, save the dinosaurs because the humans and nature shouldn't meddle. That's in there for 2 seconds, and then Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt talk about it for 2 seconds, and then it's over. That the whole debate is gone, and they're just like, hey, let's save the dinosaurs. And I was just watching this movie not rooting for the characters at all, because they're making a stupid decision to save the dinosaurs, which the whole first movie was about not doing. Sure, Chris Pratt is likable in this movie, he always is, he has some funny lines, but his character, through the decisions that he makes in this movie, you can't get behind him at all. Plus, he doesn't develop at all. Neither does Bryce Dallas Howard. They have a little bit of goofy chemistry with each other. The chemistry is a tad better than it was in the first one, but that doesn't save the characters because they're making such dumb decisions. Sure, they're fine characters, but they don't get developed at all. One of the best parts about Jurassic Park was that it developed the characters and it was about the character arcs. But the characters in this have nothing. Literally, some of my favorite scenes in the original movie was about the characters. The debate at the table is one of my favorite scenes ever. It is amazing. That is such a good scene. And guess what? There's no dinosaurs in it. You can't root for the characters in this movie. It's like they're villains. Like, it's like they're doing something. You're like, no, don't do that. And they make so many dumb decisions throughout this entire movie. All of the other characters in this movie were pretty much insufferable. There's a child actor who does decent, I guess. She's okay for a child actor, but her character, I did not like where she went at all. She was, oh my, I can't even believe what they did with her character. I was baffled with how bad she ended up being. And then there's all the corporate bad guys who are basically cartoon characters that are greedy and want to sell the raptors to military. Yeah, that plot comes back in a very big way. I don't remember anybody liking the military plot in the first Jurassic World, and in this movie, it's like the whole movie is about it. It's about these greedy guys that want to militarize the dinosaurs. It's what this whole movie is about. I couldn't even believe it because nobody liked that in the first movie, and then they make their whole movie about militarizing dinosaurs. All the villains in this movie are cartoon flat characters that just want money. And you may be saying, oh, the villain of the first movie was kind of like that. Yeah, he was a greedy guy. He was a greedy dude that wanted a lot of money, but they played all of it for comedy. Wayne Knight is a hilarious actor, and he was constantly funny in that movie. They were like, we know this character wouldn't work normally, so we gotta make him really funny. We gotta make him a hilarious comic relief. He just gets the embryos and lets the dinosaurs go loose, and then he just gets killed. That's it. That's all he does in the entire movie, and it worked for that movie. It worked for that character because he was goofy, and they knew that a corporate bad guy would not be a good character. But in this movie, there's like 4 different corporate bad guys that you have to follow in this movie, and they are so cartoonish. The big main bad guy, there's this one part where he's looking at a screen and there's money adding up when he's trying to sell this dinosaur, and like, his eyes get huge, and I couldn't help but think, these are the people making the movie. That's Colin Trevorrow. That's the director of this movie that I'm not going to pronounce the name of. That's all the people that produced this movie. They saw the money and they were like, yes, give it to me. And even like the new hero characters, you don't really get behind either. There's this one character that's just with them the entire movie, and he's just so nervous. He's so nervous and panicky, and it's like, if you were so nervous of flying in an airplane, why did you go to an island with a bunch of dinosaurs on it? And it's not funny nervous either. All he does is scream and complain the entire movie. It was insufferable. He gave me a headache. He was so bad. I am a nervous person, right? I could not relate to this guy at all. I found him extremely infuriating, and all he does is scream the entire movie. You want the dinosaurs to eat him. And some people like the over-the-top stuff in the original Jurassic World. I didn't. I thought it was really stupid, and I didn't like how they were taking a realistic first movie and making it even more ridiculous. And it gets even crazier in this one. This movie is so ridiculous and stupid. There's so many stupid stuff that happens in this movie. In the first, I could sort of watch it and laugh at how dumb it was, but in this movie, I couldn't get behind it. I was just mad at all the stupidity in this movie. Like, this isn't Transformers. The original movie was a realistic scientific movie. Why are we making this a dumb franchise where it's just dinosaurs killing people? Oh, I know, because they want to make a lot of money and they think that that's the only thing that makes Jurassic Park actually good. I can't get into spoilers. This movie is a hard movie to talk about because there's a lot of things to spoil, but the decisions the characters make in this movie are baffling. Bryce Dallas Howard, Chris Pratt, even them. Like, I didn't mind their characters in the first movie. I was like, Chris Pratt is fun in the first movie. And Bryce Dallas Howard is not that bad. She's okay. But in this movie, Chris Pratt has a few funny lines, but his character is so dumb. He's doing such dumb stuff throughout this movie, and his decisions are so rushed. There's a decision that a character makes in the last act of this movie that blew my mind. I cannot believe that somebody actually did that, and I can't believe that people actually went with this idea and were like, this isn't terrible, this is a good idea to put in this movie. We're supposed to be rooting for this character making this terrible, life-threatening decision. What a great character. Like, this movie just feels completely like it's a setup for Jurassic World 3, and that's all it is. It constantly just feels like they're trying to get to the movie that they want to make, and the whole movie, like, this whole movie is just like building to that. Movies like that so annoy me. Movies that just exist to set up another movie. Like, that's like Age of Ultron, Avengers Age of Ultron, just felt like a whole setup to another movie. It felt like a commercial for another movie. And that's what Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom feels like. It feels like a commercial for the next movie, and it just, all of it is just a setup to another movie, and you know exactly where the movie is going to end off too. So the whole movie, you have no tension for the characters, you have no tension for anything. Your mind is just, your head hurts because the plot is so freaking stupid, and you know how it's going to end, so it's just like, get on with it already, do it. And then they do it in the stupidest way. They do what you think they're going to do in the dumbest possible way. I can't get into spoilers, but like, the trailers revealed everything anyway, so who cares? Oh yeah, and BD Wong in this movie is a villain now. He's one of the 4 corporate villains. He's a bland, boring, money-grubbing villain now. Like, he was just an innocent scientist in the first movie. Now he's a corporate villain that wants money? Where did this come from? This movie builds on the stupidity of the first movie and makes it even dumber, it makes the plot terrible, and it literally tarnishes stuff that Michael Crichton set up with that first book and film. That movie was about nature and man and how they shouldn't mix. This movie is like you're trying to root for them mixing. It's like, You're trying to root for the characters who are trying to save dinosaurs, even though the whole movie was about how that shouldn't be happening. So it just feels entirely pointless. You're like, you've already learned your lesson from the first movie. Why are you doing this? Sure, there's good technical aspects. The dinosaurs look very good and there are some good sequences, but everything surrounding those sequences are just covered in crap because you don't care about the characters or anything going on. So like there's a cool sequence that's happening on the screen even though it's really stupid at the same time, and you just like, you can't be interested in the scene. You're just numb to it because you don't care about anything that's happening. You just want the movie to end. Guys, I'm gonna give Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom a D. Yeah, there's some commendable things about this movie filmmaking wise, but even that is ruined because you don't care about anything going on. You don't care about the story because it's so terrible. I'm sure some of you will say, hey, it's just a summer movie, you're supposed to turn off your brain. Yeah, that's not what Jurassic Park is. It's not. I don't even like summer movies where you have to turn off your brain. That's so boring and stupid. Jurassic Park, the original, was a smart movie. It's not just a dumb summer blockbuster, and it's one of my favorite movies because it was so smart and because it was so realistic in its portrayal of scientists and their message. And Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom just butchers everything that Michael Crichton set up. It baffled me. Alright guys, if you like my review of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, be sure to like this video, be sure to subscribe, be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.
I know it and you know it, but we need a good pictures. And the way to get good pictures, as I rather obliquely hinted earlier in the evening, is to get back into the Mona Lisa business. Individual pictures, handmade with love and passion and care by individual picture makers. Not by banks or committees or accountants or lawyers or office boys or boards of directors who are really in the real estate business, but by picture makers.